up, Steelers fans? Welcome back to Steel City Live here on Mike Drop Sports. Appreciate you all for stopping through. Thank you. And I'm just turning on a light here, brighten it up a little bit. Yeah, I don't know why I do that. I need another light on this side, I think. I have like four, and I don't put them in. I don't know why. Because I'm stupid, I guess. But yeah, it's brewing up a cup of Joe here, man. So again, thank you all for joining us here as we dive into Steel City Live. Let me get into the chat a little bit. What's up, everybody? Mike Miller, way to go, Steelers beating the Las Vegas Raiders 32-12. We need the same routine for the New York Jets and also the Cleveland Clowns. Boo, Tom Manisteel, what's up? I know a W is a W, but this was a sloppy looking win. Miss Pittsburgh in the building, what's up? Tom says, honestly, on the offense, I think the Steelers need two players, at Devontae Adams and Damian Pierce. Waving the towels for Miss Pittsburgh. She's waiting on Monday Night Football, Buffalo and the Jets to kick off. That's a big one to watch there for you Steeler fans, as the Steelers will be taking on the New York Jets here very shortly. Hey, yeah, John Broadway, what's up? Hold on, guys. I'm just going to get through here. TD, what's up? Are we ready for the Grandmaster Jay? Hell's freaking yeah. Thanks, man. Yeah, I'm ready for you guys too. I was ultra excited, man. What's up, Rich Kuzma? What's up, Beer Malls? Yeah, I was watching the chat as I was brewing my coffee there. I was like, oh, nice, man. It's always good to see you guys in there because I can bring the show up on my channel page on the phone and see you guys chatting back and forth. I can chime in and give you guys updates. I'm a communicator, man. I like to communicate as best I can. As best I can. Sometimes I don't, but I try my best. Mike Miller says we need to win this one on Sunday. Here we go, Steelers #1, baby. Yeah, guys, and we're coming in now to that big part of this season. We really are. These first six games were a tune-up. It really was, because now you're going to get into this meat of the schedule where you're taking on AFC opponents, you're taking on divisional opponents here after the bye week. You're really coming into the meat and potatoes of this season, man, and this is going to be a telltale sign of what the Steelers are going to be about here in this next group of games. You get into that first six. That's that, get your feet wet, get yourself going here. And I'm proud to say the Steelers did withstand that test with immense amount of injuries, coming out still 4-2 out of that stretch of games. And I really feel that was something to be proud of if you're a Steelers fan and the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I know it looks sloppy. I 1,000% agree. I 1,000% agree. But guys, that's first six games is a litmus test of exactly what your ball club is working toward, going to be about. It's just a good gauge, man. I really truly believe that first six games, that half dozen, man, is something that you really got to watch. So we'll continue on here with the chat. Lee B, Diddy for new quarterback. No thanks. I shouldn't even have said that name on this channel. Danny George, Jets will be easy when you take away their defense. Head coach. Yeah, they did fire their head coach. Aaron Rodgers has shown his age. I think that there is a lot that the Steelers can do in order to make sure that this game falls in their favor. And yeah, we'll dive in that throughout the week, but I need a little bit more time on the Jets. I have some ideas. A cup of Joe, no, a mug full of Jason. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. I'm on my third Starbucks of the day. I brew my own at home, though. Sometimes I get them at the Bucks, but yeah, when I want that high test, that extra shot of espresso. My wife got like 10 machines downstairs. You can brew shots, you can brew lattes, all that weird shit. Froth your front foam, do it all. But yeah, I just stick to the hot coffee with some sweetener in it. Are we not happy with the win? That's from Danny George. I'm happy with the win, no doubt about it. The only thing that I don't say is I'm thrilled with the win. I love being 4-2, and I don't know if you're a Steelers fan how you can't be thrilled with being 4-2 because it's a solid record, guys. It's one of the top records in the NFL. It is. So they're grouped in that upper echelons of teams right now. So we have to be excited about that. The only thing that I don't like when people say is a win is a win. I'm not down for that because I just think that there's so much to take away from it. You know what I mean? I think that there's so much to take away from a win and a loss that every win isn't just a win. It's just not okay because sometimes you can have crazy things happen that is going to control the outcome of future games. Yeah, so there's a lot of variables. But one good thing that came out of the Raiders game when we were talking about wins, win, different outcomes, different things that happened throughout the course of a game. Zach Frazier, no structural damage according to reports, and is going to be week to week. That did not look good, guys. It did not. It did not look good. It was very scary. I was definitely very worried about that, and it was something that I thought the Steelers were going to be in real trouble with. I do think McCollum, when he came in, wasn't horrible, played okay, and that is a good sign also for Ryan McCollum, especially when you're dealing with a defensive front. I thought of the Raiders that was fairly good. So we'll cross our fingers that there is a little bit of depth there behind Zach Frazier. Rich Kuzma, we could be undefeated and don't have an offense as of yet. It's getting there. Yeah, guys, it's going to be a work in progress. And again, this first 6 games was that litmus test of what the Steelers team could potentially do, what they have been able to do. So there's a lot there. There's a lot to take away from this first 6 games, a ton. And you can see the potential there. You can see it even in Justin Fields. And my major question on the thumbnail today, is it time for Russell Wilson? Is it time for you as a Steeler fan? Are you calling for Russell Wilson? Is that what you're calling for? I'm personally not ready, but I could see why some fans are ready. And I can't dog you for that at all because there are times that you would say to yourself, well, damn, if maybe a more comfortable, settled, seasoned quarterback might make those throws. Maybe a more comfortable, seasoned quarterback might hit Calvin Austin on that one throw that was missed in the end zone that could have been 6. And then on the other hand, you say to yourself, would Russell Wilson be able to run the football in and get those 2 rushing touchdowns? Or would he been able to throw it in there? It's a bunch of what ifs, and you can't live in that world. And Mike Tomlin always says, "Can't live in your fears." He said it yesterday, but he does. He does. And here's the better saying: don't live in the what ifs. Just roll with the hand you got right now. Roll with what you're doing. Build on something. Have something there in that building that you can build on each and every single day. That's the goal, man. That's the goal. Deborah, absolutely. What's up, Sean? It's good to start getting back on track and playing solid football. Yeah, man, 4-2, guys. 4-2. It's definitely something to be proud of. Definitely. And that tells me one thing. This team is not as horrible as some make it out to be. And it's a team that has immense amounts of injuries. And I know there's injuries across the league on every team. But the Steelers got a ton. And they're still 4-2. That has to be something to hang your hat on, man. Mike Miller, I tried Irish coffee with a little whiskey. So good. Yeah, man, that is good. I've had a little whiskey in coffee. I've had some liquor in coffee before, and it does taste good. There's a chocolate liqueur that you can get that you can put in a little bit of coffee, and it makes a really good drink. I've actually had a coffee martini my wife got one time, I believe. Yeah, it was all right. I believe that's what it was called. John Broadway, Jets are the funny game where we should kick ass, then we don't kind of game. So much history dating back to Broadway Joe. It's a weird feeling. Yeah, those games always worry as a Steeler fan. They definitely do because, there's been history of times, not all the time, but instances in which, we lay an egg sometimes as the Pittsburgh Steelers go out there in games that we feel like they should get. Daniel Warman, 4-2 is a good start. If Tomlin puts in Wilson, he should be fired. Not unless Fields starts losing. Bless Steelers Nation. Thanks, Daniel. Good to see you, my friend. Right now, I think Mike Tomlin has no choice. I think right now he has to play this hand. And if Any good poker player will tell you, you just don't, throw away a hand that got a little bit of potential. You got to play it sometimes, and sometimes it'll benefit you, sometimes it won't. And I just think it's a quite risky to throw away something that you do see potential in. I do. I feel like sometimes you got to go with your gut, and I think right now, if I'm Mike Tomlin, my gut would be telling me that Justin Fields might be the answer due to his mobility. And I'm not big on mobility. I don't want a running quarterback, but right now, with the way this team is set up and the way it is moving in the direction that it's moving, legs are something you have to have back there. You just have to. And that is something that you have to have in there as a weapon for your offense, for other opposing defenses to respect and have to account for. And if they don't, and think about it this way, if you take away that run aspect right now, with the way the Steelers are currently constructed, if you take away that run aspect of Justin Fields, you're opening yourself up offensively to really, really be vanilla, man. To really not be able to execute the scheme of Arthur Smith. I just don't see putting in a guy that's less mobile right now working out. That's just my theory. Maybe I'm wrong. Mike Miller, we need to go to the Super Bowl 59. That would be so cool. Steelers going to, yeah, that would be cool. I'm ready for, I need a Steeler playoff run, my friends. I need a Steeler playoff run. I need one. I have to have it. It's been too long. It's been too long to have one of those winners. Just one of those winners. One of those magical winners, man. Aha. Christmas time, Thanksgiving, Steelers winning. Like, oh my Lord. It's just so amazing. It makes the winter go by so quickly. And winter sucks. Winter sucks unless you're like a skier, and you get out and do a lot of snow sports. But man, dude, it's so exciting to have the Steelers be good in the winter. It brings so much joy. But anyway, all right, guys, make sure you are hitting that like button for us here on Steel City Live as we are now back into this vertical format. So make sure you are liking, subscribing, all that good stuff. I love the numbers as of late. They've really taken a little bit of a bump. That is awesome, and that is all because of you guys and your efforts in really taking hold of the channel and pushing it, man. And that's awesome to do. So we're going to continue to roll through the chat here. New York Jets versus Buffalo Bills Monday Night Football. Who wins? That's from Arnell Mickle Jr. Arnell, I'm going to say the Buffalo Bills. I think the Jets are in a little bit flux here, and it's going to be tough to get out of. And their hopes as Jets fans were bringing in Aaron Rodgers to a team that had a really good defense, and they felt like they were an elite quarterback, a veteran quarterback away from being ultra competitive. And it just hasn't worked out that way. When the injury occurred to Aaron Rodgers last year, it let that team age another year and get a little bit out of that rhythm they were in defensively, and just let them as a team get out of that rhythm that they were in, to where I felt like it really set that franchise back. Potentially when they got Aaron Rodgers, that's what they were, a quarterback away from being really, really good. But right now, I just feel like they're hanging on, and I haven't done enough research about the Jets just yet, and I will. I started to a little bit today, but yeah, the Jets definitely, I think, will lose tonight to the Buffalo Bills. Rich Kuzma, an older quarterback, might get killed behind that patchwork. He means offensive line, and definitely could be the case. No doubt about it. Could be the case. This offensive line, though, really isn't patchwork if you really think about it, sadly. It's really not. When Zach Frazier was in there, I felt like they had people in place. I just feel like that they haven't gelled. The only real injury that you're looking at that was a starter potentially here would be Troy Fautanu. Everybody else, well, James Daniels, I'm sorry, he's out too. So yeah, you got a few patches. Yeah, you do. I forgot about James Daniels being out. So yeah, now that Zach's out, yeah, because I was thinking when it was Broderick, Dan Moore, Zach, and James, And Isaac Seumalo, I don't know if I left him in there, put him in there or not, but that was kind of like their starting group except for like one, But yeah, with James out, that's a heavy burden too. It's patchwork. Yep, you're right. You're right. Matt Burton, Russ offers more than Fields, especially when the season goes on in the playoffs. We can't count on the SP special teams to win the games for us every game. No, you can't. And Mike Tomlin does lean on that. He does. That's his philosophy of winning. Here's my thing. The offense scored. It just wasn't in a fashion that we may wanted it. I felt like yesterday also with the Raiders game that I felt like the Steelers could have scored a hell of a lot more points. So that's a good thing. And Boswell, 4 for 4 yesterday. And that's what I feel like what you're referring to, that and the block punt. But that's football. Football's a team game too, guys. And I don't want to dog, and I'm not saying we are, but I don't want to forget or downplay would be a better term to use. Downplay the significance of all three phases of the game. And I'm not going to hate on all the phases that are contributing. Every single game you're going to have a little bit of a different contributor. Look at the Chargers game that just wasn't too long ago. You had the offense contribute in a major way. All three phases I felt like contributed in a decent way. I just feel like each and every week, you're going to have some hiccups on one of the phases, but hopefully another phase of the game picks it up, and that's what truly a team is about. But yeah, you can't lean just on two phases of the game and expect to win. You have to be able to be confident in all three. Luckily, yesterday the Steelers did score. Justin Fields scored 2 rushing touchdowns. Naji Harris scored a rushing touchdown. That's good. That's 21 points. Then you add another 12 from Chris Boswell. That gets you to what you had. 21, 32 points, something like that they had. So I felt like everybody contributed yesterday. In the defense, man, that was a good bounce back after that first series when they got rocked, guys. That defense got rocked, and I had said instantly, soon as that happened, I was saying to myself, it's going to be a long freaking day. And then I thought to myself, can Justin Fields win a shootout? That's what I was thinking after that first series. But Cam Hayward went over and I guess had a very spirited conversation with that defensive group. And they came out and played. And they came out and played for real, especially being beaten up so much that, you're missing half your edge rushers. You've taken some injuries, man. And it definitely showed, but they definitely rebounded too. Mel Mills, I'm hearing rumors. Hold on, where were you, Mel? I'm hearing rumors of Alex Highsmith's return this week. Your rumors are probably pretty accurate, Mel. I'm not. I would venture to say that that's probably true. Let's go, John Broadway. Tomlin is a sound bite away from up in the big booth at New York Sky. Please, dear Fox, ESPN, CBS, draft him, please. Yeah, that's where he fits. He fits there. He needs to. See you. Bye. Robert Road, I had Irish coffee in Galloway, Ireland on my 15th birthday back in 1980. Amazing, dude. Amazing. Mike Miller, if we win this for the 7th ring for the Steelers Nation, well, yeah, I'd be pumped about it, I hope. Dan Noble, do you guys paint your walls and ceilings or do you pay someone? What do you mean? I would do all my own shit. I don't pay nobody to do nothing for me, man. I do my own shit. That's how you learn, man. You got to learn to do shit. All right, guys, we're about 20 minutes in. Make sure you're hitting the shit out of that like button for us here on Steel City Live. Make sure you're sharing the show on all your social medias. And if you aren't subscribed, make sure you subscribe to the best show in town. That is right here on Mic Drop Sports. We like to call it Steel City Live. So appreciate you so very much. Also, make sure you go on to X and Facebook. Make sure you give us a follow there. We are trying to build those platforms so we can eventually multi-stream to all of those. But we're back here in our vertical presentation. And again, I appreciate you all for sticking with us through all the changes. But we are just, always figuring it out, man. We're like a good running back. rolling with the punches, man. That's what a good running back does. And I got to give Najee Harris credit yesterday. I rewatched the game. I got to give him credit. He had a very solid effort yesterday. And I posted a short. If you haven't watched it, go and check it out. It's from Najee Harris. He is irritated with the media. And he said it very well. And I thought it was very cool. He said, you're always digging for me to try to say something so you can write something about me. And that is true. And here's the thing. If I had a press pass, they wouldn't like me either because I wouldn't tiptoe. I'd ask the serious questions and I wouldn't try to bait them into saying some bullshit. I would ask it to them straight out. This is it. This is what I want to know. The Steelers wouldn't like that, I'm sure. And I'm sure the rest of the media wouldn't like that either. But that's just what I would do. And I'm sure if I had a press credential, it wouldn't last very long. So it is what it is. But man, the media, just ask straightforward questions, man. Do you want to know something? Don't tiptoe about it. I like when they said, yeah, what'd they say to him? Yeah, Deshaun Elliott said that you had an extra gear out there today. And he's like, what are you talking about, dude? And basically, these players are just, they're trying to get through these interviews. They don't want to do them, man. The questions are usually stupid as hell, and they just don't want to do it. And I don't blame them. And the media, I get it. They have a job to do, and they work for companies, and they can't go and embarrass their company. They can't go in there and do anything crazy. But man, guys, you could tell Najee Harris has had enough of the media bullshit. And it is what it is. I'm just glad that I'm not part of the media bullshit. I don't know if I'd be good with that. I have to be able to do this to where I can tell the truth. There's no ramifications. I can be 1,000% honest and say only seventh 100-yard game on a football team that runs the shit out of the football and plays defense. Let that sink in. I would have said that in the press room. But anyway, I'm off my soapbox. John Broadway, downtown. I query a question. Has any of you seen Mark Malone? I think we should put his face on half gallon of milk carton. Mark, where the hell are you? Hey, man, sometimes people just move on, I think Mark used to go watch what's his name? Steelers Nation Australia. You might find him in that chat. You could probably find him and put an APB out for him. And two guys, hey, I'm honest, so sometimes I might piss people off, but I think Mark might be busy or something because he's always a good guy. So we'll see him again, I'm sure. Beer Miles, I knocked Big Hayward all offseason. Big Cam is looking good. Hope he stays healthy. He had a good game Sunday, yeah. I wouldn't say it was his best ever, but it was a damn good game. It definitely was, and it's very good to see, especially with his age. It was definitely good to see from Cam, and I'm very excited about that, but it was a solid performance. Downtown John Broadway, yeah, Tomlin with a microphone. Tomlin dissecting and criticizing each player. Head coach with his record. He's got paper clout. Hold on. Adrenaline flux, I've seen enough. You're hired. Thanks, man. Appreciate you. Wave that terrible towel for Miss Pittsburgh. Mr. Y, man, is TJ going to have a quiet season, you think? Guys, I see why you think, maybe he is having a quieter season. Why? Because maybe the sack numbers aren't there. But you heard what TJ said yesterday. I got to find ways to contribute even when I'm being shut down in the pass rush. I have to find that. And he has sacks this season, and I feel like he's been very valuable. But he has demonstrated that there are other ways to contribute. And I feel like if you challenge TJ Watt on ways to contribute, he's going to find those ways. Excuse me. And he found them yesterday. 2 forced fumbles by one player in one game, and also demanding the respect that he has from the opposing offenses. That's big, and that definitely plays a key role. And he was definitely not quiet yesterday. So I think we'll have to look at it in a little different view. You know what I mean, Mr. Wyman? I just think we'll have to look at his contributions maybe a little bit differently this year. All right, guys, hit that like button as we continue through the chat. Wave your terrible towel for Miss Pittsburgh. Danny George, if Elliott is on a 1-year, I'd re-sign him very soon. He's on a 2-year deal, I believe. What's up, Foot's big? But I would too re-sign him, no doubt about it. Mike Miller, hold on. Rod Young, what would be your question to Pickens? My question to Pickens, let me get a drink because that's a good question from you, Mr. Rod Young. My question would be to George Pickens. I'd stand up. Well, I wouldn't stand up. You got to, I guess you holler out or something. I don't know how it truly works. So I guess you'd say, George, George, George. And I would say, George, why in the world at 20 some years old are you acting like an immature child? When are you going to grow up? When would you like to show the world that you are a true number one receiver instead of all the lip service? When are you going to get consistent? That's what I would ask him. And I would ask him also, why does this coaching staff seem to kiss your ass because you hold superior athletic ability, so they're going to let things you do slide? When are you going to hold yourself accountable? Those are the questions I would ask, and they wouldn't go over well in that room, I could tell you that. Mike Miller, I am going to Pittsburgh, PA on May 1st, 2025. Mike Miller, 40th birthday. A lot of drinking. I can't wait for it, man. I hope you have a great time on May 1st, 2025, man, and do a lot of cool shit in Pittsburgh. There's stuff to do down there, man. Foot's big. Trying to enjoy Victory Monday. Not happening, though. We're enjoying it, man. I'm enjoying it. I'm pumped about being 4-2. You make sure you are also, Foot's big. Naji, you look slow, but you look fast. Tell me. Yeah, Najee's a different animal, man. He is. I applaud his contributions yesterday. I just hope that this season he goes out and gets really consistent with that effort. And it's not going to happen every week, guys. He's not going to bust 100 yards every week. He's not going to score every week. It's just not the way it works, you know? Sadly, it's not the way it works. Not even the superstars that are the elite superstars of the league score every single week and put up monster numbers every single week. It just doesn't happen. It's the NFL. Everybody's good. But yeah, I want to see a little bit more consistency out of Najee. I'd like to see those numbers average per game increase a little bit. And I want to see Najee earn that money, man. And if it's not with the Steelers, oh well. If it's with somebody else, cool. But I'd like to see him really put in a solid effort this season. Danny George, I like this format. Jason, simple and completely good. Thank you, brother. Appreciate having you, Danny. Beer Malls Tomlin still on my hot seat. Mine too, man. Mine too. G Stacks, what's up? 3-0 against the AFC West so far for that. That's big come playoff time. Absolutely. 3-0 against the AFC West. Still to play the Kansas City Chiefs. That'll be on Christmas Day, Eve, somewhere around there. And we'll see if the Steelers can sweep the AFC West. And the Raiders played the AFC North so far pretty well. They beat the Ravens, and they beat the Browns. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. Rod Young, Beer Malls, you barely got a seat. Go sit down with his Oh, Lord. Now, boys, we are nice to each other in this chat. This ain't like the other ones. We respect each other, my friends. Tomlin, your boy Raw. Tell me about Coach D. Oh, no. Hey, guys, easy. All right, easy, guys. Robert Road, Elliott is on a 2-year deal. Yes. Kevin Schroyer, what's up? 2 forced fumbles that we recover. I'll take that over 1.5 sacks. Yeah, man, me too. 2 forced fumbles is a big day. Big day. I like it. Rod Young, ask the players. They will be unanimous in telling you Tomlin is one of the top coaches. I'll have to clap back on that one. And yeah, if my boss is cool and lets me get away with murder, I'm going to say he's best too. You know what I mean? That's just my philosophy. Maybe I'm wrong, or my thoughts. Maybe I'm wrong. But that would be something I would say. You know what I mean? Do I think Tomlin's a good coach? Yeah, I do. I mean, you don't make it this long without being a good one. But my question is he elite? You know what I mean? Is he one of the top coaches, in Steelers history? Is he the top coach, or is he one of the top coaches? Is he one of the top coaches in the game right now? That's my questions for everybody. Is he a good coach? Certainly, yeah. Let me see where I'm at. Mike Miller, we did that one. Mr. Wyman, do you think Devontae will come to Pittsburgh even after we smoke them? Well, I would assume that would be even more of a reason to. You know what I mean? Beer Malls, after Ben left, The players step all over Tomlin. His culture is a union style. We're solid every year, and all your old asses will get paid now. And after football being mediocre, Foot's big. I'm glad we won, trying to get some money to eat until I get paid. But I will. You'll live, man. You'll live, brother. I'm praying for you, Foot's big. I will pray for you, my friend. I will definitely be praying for you. Bear Malls, you want to crown Tomlin for beating the Raiders, then crown him. Rich Kuzma, LOL, Rod Young, Bear Malls. Yeah, guys, easy, my friends. Easy. Tom, man, it's still Beer Malls. The players were always allowed to walk all over Tomlin. Beer Malls, I'm just firing back. I know, guys. I know. I just want to tone her down. I say we smoke the Chiefs like a good cigar. I hope so. Matt Burton, Belichick took Tomlin's lunch money for years. That he did. Kevin Schroyer, Tomlin is a cool dude that would be fun to drink and hang out with. He wouldn't be talked about in a different organization. His success was built off Cowher's team. What has he done since then? Facts. I feel like Mike would be a cool guy to hang out with. You know what a job I feel like Mike Tomlin would do extremely well at and be probably the world's greatest? And that's being a politician. Just saying. He got it. He got that lip service for a politician. Fear Solo, Fields should be benched. I'm not there yet. With the Fields being benched. Mike Tomlin is a good coach for another team. Foot's big. Tough times, man. I'm sorry, brother. We'll be all praying for you, my friend. Fields is still the number one guy. Rod Young, LOL, Tomlin gives you a chance to do something special. Accountability goes on the GM as well. Yeah, accountability goes everywhere, Rod. It's not just Mike. It's the whole coaching staff. It just, when you're the head guy, where does the shit roll down to? It rolls down to that guy, the head guy, no matter who that may be. You have to be accountable for everything. And that's just how it goes. That's just what it is. Downtown, we really need to write Mr. Rooney and express our displeasure with in his talking rhetoric. Geez. Hey guys, I want to bring up something before I forget it. How about Landon Roberts, my friends? How about Landon Roberts? He's playing lights out, in case nobody's noticed. How about Deshaun Elliott, my friends? Playing lights out. Two players quietly playing really good. How about Dante Jackson Sunday? Really solid player. And I'll take an interception over no touchdowns in almost 700 days. Just saying. G-Stacks. Everyone keeps talking about Tomlin. Omar needs to take some accountability also for not giving this team a number 2 or a number 1A wide receiver. Absolutely, G. I can't I can't argue that too. I can't. I feel like he was like me, though, Omar. I felt like this room had more than what we're seeing out of it right now. I still feel like Calvin Austin can be utilized a hell of a lot more. I still feel like Van Jefferson can be utilized a hell of a lot more. And you did get to see a couple little sprinkles of Roman Wilson. Yes, not a contributor, but it's a good sign, a good footing forward for Roman Wilson to potentially become a player on this football team. All right, guys. Let me get through here. I'll get back to the chat. Make sure you are liking and subscribing and sharing the best show in town here on Mike Drop Sports. We like to call it Steel City Live. I'm your host, Jason, as always. So like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Remember to put your comments in. Hitting the like button during the show really, truly helps. So if you want to help, hit that like button as much as humanly possible. That sends the show into the algorithm as we are moving through here on our daily live streams. This morning, Jason slept in a little bit, and by the time Jason got up, I didn't make up a daily upload. So, yeah, I went back on what I said. I was going to try to do it last night, but I was like, I'm going to watch some football, I'm going to hang out, I'm going to eat some food, and yeah, I laid on the couch and woke up late. That's what happened. I passed out. Long day for the old man. Fear Solo, Bears made the right decision with Williams, I guess. I'm not sold on him yet. I still think he's a turd. I just don't like his attitude. beating up on certain teams doesn't impress me too much. You got to get some signature wins before I'm going to crown anybody. You know what I mean? And that's why the verdict's still out for me for Justin Fields with the Steelers because, you know, I just haven't seen enough sample size against enough good teams. I'd like to see him against division opponents. You know what I mean? That's why I just feel like there's so much to going into really giving you a true evaluation of a player. That it's still just so early. Personally, I believe Mike Tomlin would be a dick to hang out with. That's from Tom. Kevin Schroyer, if Elliott don't fall, we beat the Cowgirls. Just saying. Yeah, it could have happened. Definitely, he could have stopped that pass. He did slip though and tried to recover, but was unable to. Rod Young, Mr. Roberts is solid. Elliott as well. Yeah, man. D Jack. It was. Yeah, those are good players, man. Shout out to Peyton Wilson as well from Rubber Road. Yeah, I like Peyton Wilson's effort yesterday too. That was a good point out there, Robert, for sure. Peyton Wilson's effort yesterday was really, really good. I have to give it to him. Rod Young, this team has what it takes to do something special. I'm optimistic. Of course, I'm optimistic too, man. Yeah, I still believe and I stand by it that this football team can be special. It's just, a matter of getting it done. Dante Jackson looks pretty solid, folks. I agree. Beer Malls, John Broadway, coffee whistle, get that second, third cup or mug. I'm on 3 for the day, but I drink a little bit taller one. So I'll drink a couple in the morning and throughout the morning, and then I'll drink one sometimes here on the show or sometimes not at all. Usually just 2. I've been trying to cut down my sugar intake, but I've been eating a lot of sweets here today, and I got to chill. Beer Mall said Queen settling in nicely. I feel like his performance was much better yesterday, and I feel like the last 2 weeks I've seen some growth. Absolutely, man. So yeah, he's starting to settle in. Mr. Y man Nate Herbig is a really solid backup. Um, you talking about Nick? Nate Herbig is hurt for the season. Tomlin's been with the Steelers 18 seasons. Omar not nearly as long. Tomlin sucks. Yeah, it's again that reverts back to what I said that when you're gauging players and even GMs and coaches, you need a little bit bigger of a sample size to really formulate the total package picture, man. You have to. And especially with GMs and coaches and things of that nature, you need to see a large body of work because why? Building a franchise, building a solid championship roster 9 times out of 10 doesn't happen overnight. Sometimes you strike lightning in a bottle with a good, really solid, great draft class or something. But definitely, yeah. I think both Herbigs are all right. I like Nasty Nick. Robert Road, the 4 wins for the Bears comes against all 1-win teams. Yeah, that's my thing, Robert. That's what I'm saying. You got to put some signature wins in there before you can really give a guy, the ringing endorsement that some are giving Caleb Williams. And remember, guys, I said that he was going to be the biggest bust, and I still stand behind that. We'll just see when the tires start to fall off. Beer Miles, Rod Young, sorry for snapping Tomlin, a hot topic, but for me, it's all right, guys. I'm glad you guys apologized, too. That's awesome. Kevin Shorter, Tom Ford. I've been living in Virginia 6 years now in Newport News, 5 miles from Denby, which is where Tomlin is from. I've never heard a bad thing about his character. Yeah, I don't think you would. I don't think you would. I don't know him. So I think he'd be all right. Rod Young, Fields adds to the situation. Pickett didn't. Trubisky away from it. Yeah, he took away from it. You're right. Trubisky was just a turd, no doubt about it. But yeah, Rod, that's kind of what I'm getting at right now with why I don't want to see Russell Wilson. I was a big endorser of Russell Wilson this offseason because I thought that he was the most steady option. I thought that he's the guy that had to be behind the helm to start the season because Justin, let's face it, guys, still and did have major deficiencies. He still has them. They're not gone, but he's done a little bit better with them, so that's a plus. But I just thought starting the season with Russ would have been a more steady, solid option for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I stood behind that. But with the way that the injuries have unfolded, with the way the character of this football team has been built in terms of scheme and the way that they are attacking teams, I just don't think right now that that fits a Russell Wilson style of play. And to totally flip flop styles here going into week 7 is a lot harder to do than maybe some may think. I'm moving back to Pennsylvania next month. That's from Kevin Shore. Well, welcome back to PA, Kevin. Big Russ, what's up, man? Rod Young, all good, Beer Mom. You guys are awesome, man. Jamie M, congrats. We got a beat down yesterday. I got to say this about the Raiders, man. I hope they move on from Antonio Pierce, but I really feel like when Tom Brady becomes a minority owner inside of the Raiders organization, I feel like that the culture might change a little bit. I thought Antonio Pierce yesterday really lacked in some situational ball, man. I thought that there were times that he let the situation get out of control for him, and there were things that he could have done to slow things down. There were times when Brock Bowers was on the sideline, not being put into the game. There were times that the scheme just fell apart, considering knowing what the Steelers are deficient at. A good tight end can eat up the Steelers, and they didn't go to Brock Bowers enough. That was a little bit on Aiden O'Connell also. Even Bryant was playing well. I still thought that the Raiders could have got it done, but their coaching staff, I feel like, let them down a little bit in the quarterback play also. Oh, excuse me, man. When I drink coffee, sometimes I got to burp. But that's very big of you, Jamie M, for coming in here and saying congrats. I appreciate fans like you. That's awesome. Wave that towel for Miss Pittsburgh. Let's hit the shit out of that like button and subscribe to the best show in town. I appreciate that, Miss Pittsburgh. Appreciate the emojis from TD, John Broadway, and there on the Raiders team after he shuffled off to Buffalo. Yeah, Yuns know him. Mr. Splain, tough guy, should have kept him. You got to love Robert Splain. He was used as an example inside of the Pittsburgh Steelers training facility on the south side to talk about Robert Splain and what working hard and doing the things that are necessary in order to become a solid ball player pays off for you eventually. And that's all through hard work. And I gotta emphasize that yet again. You know, you can have all the talent in the world, but talent only gets you so far. You have to put in the work, my friends. You have to put in the work, and that goes for everything in life. And if you don't do that, and I'm at fault for not doing that sometimes, how many times have I thought to myself, man, Jason, you've been doing this YouTube thing for a little over a year now, and, you haven't hit that 4,000 goal yet. You're close, but, man, maybe you should just hang it up and, quit. It is what it is. No, you put in the work and you keep going, and you got to remind yourself of that sometimes. So that's what you got to do. And I hope the players on the Steelers team understand that and really take that example of a Robert Spillane and really run with it. Chiefs three-peat, so good luck. Chiefs ain't three-peating, bro. Mr. Malone! There he is. Everybody was asking for him. Mark, everybody is asking for you. Somebody must have went out and found you. Must have went out and found you in YouTube land. Wave those towels for Miss Pittsburgh. Oh, I just got a pop-up there. Miss Pittsburgh, a Mafia member for 7 months. Appreciate you, Miss Pittsburgh, in the house. Roberta Campbell, what's up? I agree with Caleb. I've seen the same thing. I think the best quarterback in the draft is Daniels, who's QB for Washington. Yeah, Jaden Daniels, definitely a beast, man. Man, I wish they would have beat the Ravens. That sucks. I was talking to them. Offense still needs work. Fields' accuracy wasn't good. No, and hopefully that continues to get better. It wasn't good. Brock Bowers is a great tight end. Man, I wish the Steelers had Pat Freiermuth, Brock Bowers, Darnell Washington, and Connor Hayward. Oh, my Lord. Man. That would be a lethal combination. You could run all tight end sets. I think this is Mike McCarthy's last season for Dallas. I do too. I think that'll be about it. They lost too. They got their ass beat by the Lions. Russ got a new iPhone 16. Couldn't get on last night. New phone. Wi-Fi has to be turned off. Yeah, man. Wish I could see your phone. I'd give you all the insight. I have an iPhone. I think it's a 15. I could tell you all that new stuff. Danny George, hey Russ, glad to see you, buddy. DJ Thomas, what's up? Are the Steelers really that far off from bringing a great team? 2 games were lost by field goals, 6 points away from being undefeated. They're not really that far off. And that's what I said at the beginning of the show, guys. It's very, very encouraging to be 4-2 with the amount of turmoil that has transpired over this season in terms of the injuries. And things that how they've played out, and the Steelers aren't far off from being 6-0. But almost only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. So you can't live in that world. Yeah, man, everybody's looking for Mark. I'm happy to see Mark, Russ. I'm glad somebody went out there and found him. Brock likes to do dirty work. Yeah, John Broadway. Hey, Mark Malone. I've been wondering. Good to know you're still with us. Hey, Danny, the Brobarian. What's up, man? I ain't seen you in a minute, too. Good to see you in the chat. We'll be switching to Sony phone from Motorola. Hey, awesome. You guys, definitely, I'm thinking about figuring out. I have all these cameras. Like, I have this Ultra 4K. It's like a digital recorder and shit. I have a Kodak camera. I'm trying to figure out what type of camera that I want to film with. But I like this vertical presentation. I like being in the shorts view. So I don't know if I'm going to ever switch from the phone. But, man, I might ask for some suggestions here shortly. How well did our O-line do last week? They haven't been horrible, but they haven't been good. That's the problem, That's the problem. I'm hoping that they start to gel. I'm hoping that Zach Frazier isn't out long term because, guys, what is the best medicine for an offensive line? What gets an offensive line going in the right direction? And that is just games, reps under their belt. And that's why I really, really, really was hard on Mike Tomlin this offseason and kept emphasizing, get your guys there where you want them now, early in camps, early in mini camps, because the only thing that makes an offensive line super good and gets them to that elite level is reps, reps, reps together. Not apart, not sometimes with each other, sometimes not. No, it has to be together. And man, I'm telling you, it disrupts the whole system when you start moving people in and out. I'm glad everybody's excited for you, Malone. We're going to be good, get healthy out of the bye next 2 weeks. Yeah, next 2 wins. Yeah, man, I hope the Steelers do go out into the bye with winning these next 2 games against the Jets and the Giants, coming out of this with a 6-2 record, heading into that bye week, getting themselves a little healthier. Even getting guys that are just getting healthy now, like a Jalen Warren and Roman Wilson, even more healthy than. I really would like to see Nick Herbig, Alex Highsmith back. You might see a real full strength, well, not full strength, but almost full strength Pittsburgh Steelers team coming into those divisional games. And boy, would that be nice. Don't forget, you have guys on IR that can come off after 4 weeks. You have Cam Sutton that's going to return. I thought Beanie Bishop played a little bit better yesterday, but man, that's going to be a big impact for the Steelers team. There is a lot to be excited about, and I kept saying to everybody too, if the Steelers can hold on in this front half and come out of it with a really solid record, the sky's the limit, man. Because let's face it, if you look at their divisional record against divisional opponents since 2020, the Steelers play their divisional opponents very, very well. Don't give me the Lamar Jackson bullshit because he's 1-7 right now against the Steelers in his last 8. Just saying. Don't give me that. Don't give me the Deshaun Watson bullshit because he's about to be benched. I fear Jameis Winston more than I fear Deshaun Watson. I'd rather play Deshaun Watson if I'm the Steelers. Don't give me the Joe Burrow shit because their team isn't doing very well either. I'm just saying the Steelers play the division very, very well. And if they can be hot going in against the Chiefs, going in against the Eagles, they might win those games too. You might be looking at a football team that doesn't lose very many games from here on out. Just saying. Fingers crossed. Yeah, Richard Goulian, he is week to week with it's more of a soft tissue, no structural damage to Zach Frazier. The Jets kick a field goal. See y'all tomorrow. I have to get back to work. All right. See you, Tom. Thanks, man. Any news on Zach? Yeah, we did that. Beer malls make that money at Tom, no doubt. Edward, have the Jets played a day game yet? What's with all the NFL love for the Jets? I don't know, man. I thought that too, Edward. It seems so odd. Yeah, they've played a day game, but it does seem odd. They're always in prime time or, in a big game. Trust in Justin or Wilson 3. I'm trusting in Justin right now. John Broadway, my issue is hearing clowns fans liking Tomlin, but I think they're just talking shit to make fun of my anger. I predicted 6-2 at the bye, that either the 12 or 13 wins and win the North #1 seed. I hear you, Russ. I don't remember, buddy. I'll take your word for it. That's where I definitely made mention, though, and I thought you guys agreed to with what, like Russ just put there, 6-2. I definitely was really, really adamant that the Steelers had to come out of this at least with the 6-2, maybe 5-3 type record. That it was a must, man. It's a must because I just really feel like they can play the division really, really well, and I understand that it's a lot of division games back to back. I get that, but man, I feel like they can do it. I hope you're right, with Russ. I hope they get 13 wins. That'd be amazing. This is PTSD, this is PTSD from last year. 2 home games versus teams we should have beat. Absolutely. Rod Young, Tomlin is a great coach, guys. We do play the AFC North well. Give the man his flowers. Russ, I said when trade was made for DJ, he would be good. He's been great. Yeah, I like D-Jack, man. Rod Young, well, Jets, Giants must win. Flip the script. Tomlin. Roberta Campbell, that's because the NFL has a lot of a love fest for Aaron Rodgers. That they do, man. That they do. No doubt about it. Downtown Jaw Broadway. Yes, amen, Jason. That's righteous. Is spot. SmackDown passion. I 100% agree. Russ says you must admit Najee gives 100%. Yeah, Najee does. Dude, Najee's a fighter. I'll never take that away from him. And I like the way he handles the media because I feel like the media definitely try to clown people sometimes. So, yeah, I like the way he does all that. Oh, yeah, they love Rodgers. I'm sizing him up tonight. That's from Beer Balls. Well, I'm going to go size him up here in a minute, guys. I'm about to wrap this show up. So I want you guys to put any last-minute comments in the chat. Go ahead and make sure you're sharing. If you're not watching it now, you can watch it later. It should upload by the morning. When I do these vertical presentations, it takes a little bit longer for the live shows to upload to the channel. You may get the basic version and then it uploads an HD version. I don't know. I can't remember. But yeah, when we were doing it in StreamYard, it uploaded pretty fast. But you should have it by the morning, Rod. Tomorrow, if you're not watching it now, you can watch it later again. And make sure you help us in the most important ways by liking, subscribing, sharing. We appreciate it. The subscriber count has started to go up again. So that gets me excited. That gets me pumped up, man, when we do those things. And again, guys, I'm going to look on those shares. I want to see that you guys are sharing the shows every day. So make sure you continue to help us. And I'm so humbled and thankful that you all are so loyal and come every night and listen and talk and have fun talking Steelers football, man. Let's see. Oh yeah, I love the Rodgers. Tonight is possibly teams we could face in the playoff round. From the Jets. Yeah, in Buffalo. Yep. Did I miss it, or do we do scores for a Raiders game? Yeah, no, we already did that yesterday. We did it, and after the game. We had somebody that was spot on almost. Daniel Warman was 33-17. He was pretty close. A lot of people picked 13 for the Raiders. Douglas Ball did. Well, not a lot of people. Douglas did. Downtown John Broadway did. Steelers 06 was the closest. He picked 31-16 yesterday. Before the game, and he was damn near spot on. So that was pretty good. But yeah, we already did that earlier. I said 12-5, but that was before so many injuries. I'd love to see 12-5, but I think 10-7 is more realistic. Yeah, that's where I was at the beginning. Robert was 10-7, 11-6 type area. It's my first time, and I just subscribed. Thanks, Rod Young. Appreciate you, man. Come back and join the conversation, dude. We always like to have a good conversation. We all got to Jet. Yes, man, we do. Bills pounding it up the middle, having good success against the Jets. That might be a Najee game, guys. So that might be all right. Miami out of the mix. We're in the top 6 in the AFC. Russ, I was impressed with Moon. Got blocked and had some pressures. Yeah, man. I didn't see yours, Russ. You might not have put it in the show the other night. If you didn't, I didn't see it. Sorry about that. Roberta Campbell, Jason got to go watch the game. We look forward to catch up. Yeah, thank you, Roberta. I appreciate it. You have a good night, too. That's all right, Russ. I didn't see it. That's all. Rodney, you're not from Carlisle, are you? I don't know who that is. You might know him, man. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap it up. Again, I'm Jason. This is Mike Drop Sports. This is show Steel City Live, our daily live stream. Don't forget to go like and share the shows. And don't forget to follow us on X and follow us on Facebook. And Beer Malls comes in with a super chat there, man. Oh, thank you, dude. Let me like it real quick. And like it. Thank you, Beer Malls. I appreciate you. Beer Malls says, go get an Irish coffee, Jason. Let's go. Thanks, Beer Malls. I appreciate that super chat, my friend. You guys are awesome, man. And I always appreciate you guys so very much. So thank you again, Beer Malls, for the super chat. And guys, thank you. Until next time, man. I'm Jason. This is Mike Drop Sports. Peace, my friends.